do a bit of a Q&A, question and answer video. I've got a few questions from people lined up. Somebody asked me, what is the best feed to give a laminitic or EMS pony? And for me, obviously it totally depends upon the individual horse and their workload, their history, everything like that. But for me and my girls, the best thing for me is Allen & Page Fast Fibre. I'm not sponsored, by the way. Yeah, Allen & Page Fast Fibre, which is perfect for native ponies. Gives them all the vitamins and minerals that they need without the calories and the sugar. Then I also give them Equimin's Laminator, which is brilliant. And Ruby hasn't had a single episode of EMS or symptom of laminitis since being on it, and that was about 3 years ago now, I think, that I started her on it. Her hoof quality has also improved tremendously, which is amazing. But yeah, you can give them 1 scoop a day is the maintenance dose, and it'll be 2 scoops per day if you feel like they need it, if they're starting to show any sort of subtle signs of laminitis or EMS. I swear by it now. I think it's really cost effective, and I think it really works. And also there's a product, I can't remember the company, I think it's the same company that make the product No Butte, but it's called Navilam, which is another good one. And this diet really seems to work well for my ponies. The next question that I had was, how long have I owned Ruby and how did I get her? Well, I wasn't actually planning on getting a pony when I got Ruby. I wasn't looking. I already had a pony, Minnie, who sadly isn't with us anymore. And I had obviously studied horses at college as well, worked with them as a groom for a while. But I wasn't actually looking for a new pony. And then suddenly I came across an advert in my local tack shop offering this beautiful chestnut pony, and I jokingly said to my mum, oh, you know, it's only a couple of miles up the road, shall we go and view it? And my mum said, yeah, go for it, arrange it. And I think she meant it as a joke, but obviously I wasn't going to turn that down. So we went to view her, and I absolutely fell in love with her, and I brought her home. I think it was on the 3rd or 4th of November in 2013, so that's 7 years that I've owned her now. And she came to me at a very difficult time in my life. Sorry, Aria's photobombing me there. Sorry. But yeah, she came to me at a very difficult time in my life, and I don't think I'd be here without her. Well, I wouldn't be. Simple as that. So she really did save my life as much as I saved hers, but I got her from a lovely couple. And they let me have her for just £1, and you know what, she might have cost me a hell of a lot more money since, but she's the best pound that we ever spent, hands down. One of the other questions that I get asked quite regularly is what made me decide to drive her, and my mum had been driving her Cob Gelding Blackjack for a while previously, and I'd never really had the confidence or the inclination to kind of take it up. I think I was a little bit overwhelmed by it all because of how different it is compared to riding. And I'd watched a lot of horror videos on YouTube of when things go wrong as well, which didn't help. So I think I decided, well, you know, this pony needs exercise, and the best way to give it to her is to teach her to drive. And you know what? Again, that was the best thing I ever did, not only for her sake, but also for mine. I really enjoy carriage driving. I'm never going to be able to win top class competitions, but you know what? I don't care. You know, we have fun, we stay safe, and we do improve, and that's all that really matters. The other question that I get asked on Instagram quite a lot is, what's the furthest that we walk when we do our walks in hand, our rambling? And I think the furthest that we've ever walked was actually by accident, because we got lost. I think it was like 9.5 to 10 miles, something like that. But we were fine at the end of it. I was quite surprised actually how fit we were to be able to manage that, but that was all because we got lost. But our average walks are probably between 3 and 7 miles. We sometimes go to 8, but we are sort of building it up. The only reason we don't really do the mega long walks is because quite simply we don't have that many bridleways around here without doing quite a lot of busy road work, and I'm not really a fan of going on the road, so I find that people actually give us a lot less respect than they would with a normal size horse. So I think that's the only reason that's the only thing that really holds us back. Another question. I really should have written this down, shouldn't I? The other question, oh yeah, what breed is Ruby? Because obviously people look at her, they think, oh, it's a chestnut Shetland, it's a Thelwell pony, and then they look a little bit closer and they think, hang on, there's something not quite right there. Sorry, Aria's eating the bush. She is in fact a Shetland British Spotted Pony cross, although she was apparently a registered British Spotted Pony when she was born, but it turns out that one of her many previous owners lost the paperwork, and therefore we were only really able to trace it via the microchip. A kind friend of mine traced it for us, so we found out that she's actually half British Spotted Pony, but she is solid in colour and she takes more after her chestnut Shetland mum. But yeah, she definitely looks a little bit different. If you look at her on her own, you'd say she's a Shetland, but if you put her next to actual Shetlands, like for example in the show ring, you can really see then she's much longer, much bigger built, even without the fat, you know. She's quite different to the average Shetland. And Freya, the spotty pony that you might see a bit of on our YouTube channel and Instagram and Facebook, Freya is actually Ruby's half sister because they share the same sire. There were a few more other questions, but I've totally forgot them now. Scatterbrain. Ari, she's trying to pull me away. But if any of you have any other questions that you want to ask me, feel free, and I'll do another video at a later date. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.